Hey guys, Zomfox here, and today we're going to be talking about Jameson Houston, who is leaving the Michigan Panthers for the Seattle Seahawks. This is another cornerback to leave the USFL to go into the NFL, and one of the better cornerbacks in the league Jameson Houston. As for his stats, he has played in the NFL. He played in 3 games, but he didn't actually play in any defensive snaps to get any actual stats. As a member of the Eagles in 2020, he was on a couple other practice squads, but nothing really else. But as for his time in the USFL, he was, I believe, tied for 5th on interceptions. He had 2 interceptions during the year. He ended up having 42 solo tackles, which is pretty solid, and 46 overall tackles, with 3 TFLs. He was a very, very solid cornerback. He had 9 pass defenses and did play in all 10 games. He was a 5th pick in the 9th round. As for the team he is going to, the Seattle Seahawks corner depth chart isn't the best in terms of known names, but they have Sidney Jones and Artie Burns, and then their backups are Coby Bryant and Trey Brown. Then 3rd string you have Justin Coleman and Tariq Woolen, and then 4th string you have Elijah Jones and Mike Jackson. As for Elijah Jones, he is the only undrafted free agent rookie on the top 4 depth chart for either cornerback slot. Mike Jackson was a 5th-round pick in 2019. He's appeared in a couple games, but he hasn't done anything at all, and he's played on 3 different teams, and he didn't even play for the team that drafted him. So, naturally, as you can see, that's someone who Jameson could easily overtake. Tariq Woolen was a 5th-round pick in this year's draft, and then Justin Coleman. He's been in the league for a while. He's played for New England, Seattle, Detroit, Miami, and now back to Seattle. He's gone from being, a depth corner to a rotational guy to a legit starting cornerback. He did have 1 year he actually had 2 pick sixes, which is pretty cool. But overall, he's been a very decent cornerback to have as a rotation type guy. He's not, one of those mainstay, going to be a lockdown defender, but he's a very solid guy to have. As for their backups, they have a 4th-round pick in Coby Bryant from the University of Cincinnati. Him and Sauce Gardner helped make that team good enough to make it to the playoffs. And then Trey Brown, 2021, he was a 4th-round pick. He started 3 games, played in 5. He only had 10 tackles and 1 pass defense, but, he was a rookie, so maybe you can give him some slack. As for Sidney Jones, he was a 2nd-round pick in that great 2017 draft by the Philadelphia Eagles. He ended up getting away from them in his 4th year to go to Jacksonville and then went to Seattle last year. He's never been a full-time starter until last year, and last year he had 66 tackles, 45 solo, 1 TFL, and 10 pass defenses, so good numbers, but for him, he's never been a legit starting corner. And then Artie Burns, he was a 1st-round pick in 2016, but he's definitely not lived up to it, I would say. He only was a legit starter 1 year, where he started every game, as his rookie year was his best year when he had 3 interceptions and 13 pass defenses, as well as 65 tackles. Ever since then, he's kind of been just dropping in quality. He hasn't had a single interception in the last 3 years, despite appearing in multiple games, and he's been playing significantly less. So, yeah. As for Houston, I think that he realistically could just go as high as he can show. Because, it's not like this is a team that's oh man, they're so good at cornerback. I think that they definitely are because, let's be real. The Seahawks, a lot of people think that they're tanking for this year, which, considering the fact their quarterback room is Geno Smith and Drew Lock, I incline to believe that they are trying to tank. So, who knows how the cornerback rotation goes? He could realistically go anywhere on there in a year like this. Who knows, they might be trying to actually win, but all signs point to them not trying to win, but we'll see. This has been Zomfox. If you enjoy this content, when I notify as soon as I upload any videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell, and as always, have a great night.